How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 36 Chapter 9. This is Season 36 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 9. In this episode, we will be analyzing the generation of dissonant consensualities through the stratification of the plates. The primary levels by which the other's expressive language generates negation are the plate of posture, which corresponds to impulses we affirm internally but negate externally, and the plate of the hands, through which the other's expressive language is dialectical to our non-consensual, shadow self, thoughts we neither negate nor express. Thus, negation generates dissonant consensualities where those impulses are expressed, which are incorporated into the linear stream of our conscious attention through parsimony. It is interesting that parsimony plays a role in this process, because the impulses that we affirm internally but negate externally, and those which we neither affirm nor negate nor express, are those for which there is a potentiality for the corresponding behaviors to manifest, without the actuality. This tells us that the underlying genetic predisposition for the behaviors is present, but there is some underlying hurdle to the expression. We know that parsimony is not just a principle which describes dissonant consensualities incorporation in the linear stream of our conscious action, but a larger biological principle governing phylogeny. This tells us that the biological potentiality of a behavior corresponding to an impulse represents a branch within a phylogenetic tree. Look at it this way. Let's say that there are two genes governing the expression of a behavior. Let's say that person A has gene 1 but not gene 2. Let's say that instead of gene 2, they have gene 2b, which is closely related to gene 2. Thus, they may have the impulse corresponding to the behavior caused by gene 1 plus gene 2, but not the actual behavior, because they are missing gene 2. This tells us that parsimony as a principle governing phylogeny could manifest its action through the incorporation of a dissonant consensuality into our linear stream of experience, as the pathway by which person A possesses gene 1 and gene 2, a kind of parallel genetic pathway created by the possession of both genes. Thus, parsimony as a reflection of phylogeny could reflect the potentialities linking two parallel streams of experience. In other words, the manifestation of dissonant consensualities may respect a kind of genetic or epigenetic drift through potentiality. The decision tree, which is the product of inhibition, may be simply a different way of looking at a phylogenic tree corresponding to genetic relatedness. Thus, the application of parsimony to the incorporation of dissonant consensualities into our actual experience may not be a coincidence but rather a larger manifestation of phylogeny. If we return to an example, suppose you are seated in a restaurant and you have the impulse to ask out the waitress. But you resist the impulse. That resisting the impulse generates a dissonant consensuality where you acted upon the impulse. It creates a dislocation of time by about 2 minutes. A divergence between two parallel streams of consciousness. But what if the difference between those two streams is a minor genetic or epigenetic difference in your biology? The creation of a dissonant space, a manifestation of a difference in phylogeny. Thus, the principle of parsimony governing phylogeny becomes a principle of parallel universes through minor differences in biology. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.